2 weeks, it's time to make your aquatic chamber. So you have your EcoColumn here, and the plants have been growing, and your bugs and your worms are in the terrestrial chamber, and you've still been watering it and having the water drip down all the way to the bottom. So now it's time to create your aquatic chamber. Again, this is 2 weeks after building the terrestrial and filter chambers. So we're going to go ahead and empty this water into the sink. And we're going to start with some purified water to begin with. But before that, we need gravel. So we have our gravel here, and make sure it's all nicely washed in the sink. Make sure you rinse the gravel really, really well in the sink. It's important to rinse it really well so that no dust gets in your aquatic chamber. So we have our rinsed gravel, and I'm going to put about 2 centimeters in the bottom. All right, I have my couple of centimeters here. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some purified water about halfway up. Now, the purified water could be bottled water, or it could be spring water, it can be distilled water, it can even be tap water that's been left out for a couple of days so that the chlorine in it has dissipated. It's best, however, to start with purified water so that you can monitor the changes that occur to your aquatic chamber over time. So I'm going to take some of this distilled water and I'm going to fill it up about halfway. So I want to make sure that my level is below my holes here, and I give myself a little bit of room. So now we're going to take some measurements of the water quality. After we've taken our water quality measurements, we're going to add an allodia. So we need to first measure this allodia. Now this is a water plant, and we're going to measure it first before we put it in. So my measurement is 17 centimeters, and this allodia came from an established fish tank, and the fish tank in it has good bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, 2 different types, Nitrosomus and Nitrobacter. And these 2 bacteria will change ammonia into nitrites first and then into nitrates. Now that's important because when you add a fish, the fish will have ammonia in its waste product. And that ammonia can be toxic to aquatic life. And so you need to make sure that you've inoculated your water with good bacteria so that bacteria can take the ammonia from the fish waste and turn it into nitrites and nitrates. And you have to wait a couple of days for that colonization. So we're going to take the wet allodia, and this water left on here has the bacteria on it from my fish tank. And so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in. And now we're going to wait 2 more days before we add a fish. And during that time, again, the bacteria will colonize this water, and it will be healthier for the fish. So now we're going to go ahead and put our EcoColumn back together. Now, from this point on, you are not going to water large amounts. We are no longer flushing the EcoColumn. You want to water only enough to wet the soil and water your plants, and just have a few drips come through. So we don't want large amounts of water coming through all the way to the bottom. So you can see I have a few drips, and so I know I watered it just enough, and then it will drip through until the next time we take data.